We are doing our videos again. Make sure that you put your last name and your first name on your Google form. And we are working this week on implementing all the stuff that we've already learned. So we're going to be thinking about unit rate and proportions and and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to apply it to real world situations. So that's our big idea, is putting it all together. So let's start by reading. The class of 2023 is selling tickets for a haunted house. This graph shows the relationship between the number of tickets and the total cost. What is the constant of proportionality? So, got to get something to write with. We've already figured out that we know what the constant proportionality is. So which one of the bag of tricks are we going to get and try to figure out what the answer is? And I remember that a line is created by all these little points, my X and my Y. So this point happens to be 1, 5. This one happens to be 2, 10. Now I'm already starting to notice a pattern. This one is 3, 15. I know that this is proportional because it is a straight line and it is going through the origin. So this is obviously something that we know how to do. I'm noticing a pattern, but just in case you're not, I am going to go ahead and make that table. So total cost is over here. And the number of tickets is here. So we have 1, 5, 2, 10, nice, and 3, 15. Since I already have the 1 here, I know my constant. I know my K happens to be 5. So my first question, I think, that I asked, what is the constant of proportionality? So I'm just going to put 5. Done. Let's see what's next. I don't want to erase anything. If N represents the number of tickets purchased, what can we multiply it by to find the total cost? Let me read that again because that sounds awful. If N represents the number of tickets, so N is this up here, okay? What can we multiply it by to find the total cost? I believe that answer would be 5, but I'm going to double check. Okay, I skipped a question. See it? It says using the graph and answer above, what would 7 tickets cost? Since it doesn't tell me, I can either continue doing this pattern 4, 5, 6, 7, or I can just extend the graph. So I'll do both just so that you guys can see both ways. All I'm doing is counting up by 5 over here, multiplying it by 5. So this answer would be $35. $35. If N represents the number of tickets, what can we multiply it by to find the total cost? I think we just figured that out because I took 1 and to multiply it by 5, 2 multiplied it by 5. So what we're going to multiply it by is the same. So I want to make sure that I don't have to write that as an equation. And I don't. I do not have to write it as an equation because it didn't ask me that. But it asked me the question twice. I'm going to have to fix this for you all. So you will not have 2 questions. I have 2 of the questions that are the same. So I'm not sure what's happening. But I'll have that part fixed for you. So ignore that second question that's the same question. Don't do it. It won't be there. But the next question that will be there is, what would the equation be to find a total price T when purchasing N tickets? Now that sounds a little, because they threw letters in there that I didn't understand. But we have talked about Y equals constant times X. Well, in this case, this is my X because it's what makes it change. Okay, that is the word for it is it's my independent variable. It is going to just change all by itself. But it affects my dependent variable, which is the cost. So that makes sense. My independent variable is how many tickets I buy, but how many tickets I buy is going to change my cost. So therefore it's one is dependent on the other. So big picture, N is where I see the X. So let me try to change colors. And I know the letters are changing things. So you see that Y is T. So I'm going to put T there. Go to another color. You see that X is N. So I'm going to put N there. So therefore now I can fill in. The K didn't change. It's still 5. Whew, that was work. So I don't want to get mixed up. You could also do some testing, which we'll do in the next problem. So T equals 5N. I don't know why it has plus. That's not right. It's this one. That one. It's just like what we're doing, but they're using different letters or variables. Okay. It says describe the equation above and use the word constant of proportionality in your description. Okay, so let's go for it. The number of tickets, which is N, makes sense. Number of tickets N, right? Right? Number of tickets N multiplied by the cost, but T, I'm going to call it T, will give me the total cost. Done. I feel like I need to do some here, just in case you do not understand this. So I'm going to. So if N is here and T is here, this is stuff that you guys did in younger grades, but we can substitute those numbers in, okay? So if my equation is T equals 5N, I can test it by substituting in a set of numbers. Now I'm going to change this color. Do you see this set of numbers right here, 2 and 10? Well, 2, watch my little pen, is the N. So I'm going to put 2 right there. Bring that down, right? 10 is the T. So I'm testing to see if it's true or not. Does 10 equal 10? And the answer to that is yes. Okay. Now, tomorrow's problem, next week's problem, whatever, may not have those. So I can test this one to see if it works. N equals 5T. So let's pick a number, but let's pick those same two numbers. So it's saying that N would be 2 and T would be 10. But my constant did not change. That's why it's called a constant. Well, see, it didn't work out. So 2 does not equal 50. So that's how I know that this is a wrong answer. And we could do the same thing with this one and test as well. So I wanted to make sure that I showed that. I know that I have extended my time. Yes, we've solved the problems, but I want you to show you some test taking strategies so that just in case you weren't real sure and you got confused with the letters, just like I did, you could just substitute them in and see if it works. So let's check and make sure that I've got it all right. Although I'm going to have to put some kind of wonky answer here. I'll put 5. Yeah. Yeah, 9 out of 9. You guys' score will probably not be 9 out of 9 because I have to eliminate that one question. So that's it. Good job.